runoff election. Plus, authorities sentence a Joplin man for child sex crimes. And the Independence Police Department hosts training for their Take Me Home program.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Votes are in to determine Oklahoma candidates to appear on the November ballot. This is KOAM News at 10. Oklahoma voters today decided runoff elections in cases where no candidate got more than 50% of the vote in the primary. We begin with the Republican nomination for U.S. Senator, the seat held by retiring Senator Jim Inhofe. 2 loyalists of former President Donald Trump on the ballot. Markwayne Mullin defeats T.W. Shannon. 2 Democrats face off in Oklahoma's other U.S. Senate race. Cybersecurity expert Madison Horn defeats attorney Jason Bollinger. Horn will face incumbent Republican Senator James Lankford in November. In the race for Mullin's open U.S. House seat in eastern Oklahoma, former state Senator Josh Racine defeats State Rep Avery Fricks for the Republican nomination. You can go to our website and KOAM News app to see the rest of the results for the Oklahoma primary runoff election, KOAMnews.now.com/elections. A judge has sentenced a Joplin man convicted of child sex crimes who then cut off his ankle monitor and fled for a year. 51-year-old Robert Shields was convicted of 4 charges, including child molestation, statutory sodomy, and 2 counts of statutory rape. The victim endured the abuse for years, starting at the age of 7. Shields was sentenced to life in prison and still faces additional charges in Berry County, Missouri. The growing use of the opioid fentanyl is the topic of a meeting today in Pittsburgh. Senator Roger Marshall, the Crawford County Sheriff's Department, and Southeast Kansas health officials discussed ideas on how to combat what some are calling a fentanyl crisis in Kansas. The senator's office says Kansas saw an increase of 54% in overdoses during the first 6 months of 2021 compared to the same time period in 2020.
It's getting worse every day. We want to get here and share the message that just taking even 1/2 of a pill can kill. So with school starting up, we're trying to get the message out across the state how dangerous fentanyl is.
All of the Crawford County Sheriff's Department has Narcan nasal spray. It's a medicine they can use to treat someone suffering from ill effects of fentanyl. Southeast Kansas Police Department wants to spread the word about their program assisting people with cognitive disorders. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
Independence Police Department is celebrating the Take Me Home 5th anniversary by reminding the community of their involvement. Take Me Home is a program designed to help officers assist individuals who have trouble communicating due to a disorder.
We recognize that there's definitely a need in our community, and if it can create a more positive interaction between police and folks that are suffering from those things or their families, then that's definitely what we want to do. And
the program will keep a confidential database with the description of the person's disability, picture, physical appearance, and emergency contact provided by their legal guardian.
At the end of the day, the most important thing is it gives us a tool to identify folks and help them get home safely when they can't tell us who they are.
Take Me Home started in 2017 and has improved the interactions between the community and the police department.
I think it's a great resource because it's a real fear for families to realize suddenly that a member is missing. And it gets even more complicated when that person doesn't communicate or is nonverbal.
Having an officer understand cognitive disorders will improve community safety.
So anytime a police department works with its community to make it a safer place for everyone that lives there, it's a very beautiful thing.
Reporting in Independence, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Officers undergo multiple training sessions to understand cognitive disorders. The Independence, Kansas Police Department is also asking for your help in providing leads and closing cases. Operation Private Eyes is a program for people to volunteer video footage from businesses or private security cameras when there's a crime. Anyone who volunteers to participate will be contacted by the police department when there's a crime in their area. It doesn't cost anything, and you don't have to register to provide video information. To find out how to enroll, just go to our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. Let's check in with Doug for a first look at the weather.
Well, it turned out to be a nice day for us today. Temperatures fantastic, upper 80s to right around 90 degrees, but the humidity has been low. so it hasn't really felt very muggy or sticky across the region. 90, 64, 89 is where we should be topping out. So very typical day for us today. Clear skies, nothing going on here. Any showers, any thunderstorms well to our south across the southern parts of the plains. There's just nothing very organized right around the corner for us. So it's going to stay pretty steady. Sitting into the mid 70s, I think by morning we'll drop back to about 65, 86 by noon, 90 by 5, high temp right around 91, so maybe a degree or two warmer than what we did see today. Some rain chances, we'll look at that here in just a bit.
All right, we'll catch you in a few. Kansas company has found a new way to eliminate chemicals in farming. Greenfield Robotics has created robots that can help weed and mow crop fields. Maeve Ashbrook explains how it works.
While it's not necessarily classic Kansas farming, it's still an idea that developers hope will help feed the world.
I'm not going to say they're perfect yet. If we can begin to eliminate chemicals or cut the use of them and take that money and spend on robots or some other way to help control weeds, that sounds good.
Clint Brower is the farming founder of Greenfield Robotics and the choreographer of this mechanical dance up and down rows of soybeans.
It always starts with something practical, and so this is the most practical thing I could think of to start.
With help from engineers, Brower created these robots. They're part of his larger effort to eliminate chemicals from farming.
When their crop comes up, they normally have to go in and spray chemicals. And so they spray them through the whole field. These robots actually go and eliminate most of that need between the rows.
The robots do so by going plant to plant, weeding and mowing crops like in this soybean field and this sunflower field, keeping the weeds from growing in the first place. It's already got a growing customer base, from Tanya Martisco, who uses the robots to maintain the maize used in an annual 5K race.
It's saved us a ton of time, manpower, which we just were lacking on all of that this summer.
To farmer Tori Ball, who's gotten pretty used to the roaming antennas, even if they don't always go exactly where he'd like.
Last year they had some hiccups.
That's why someone is always watching, just steps away inside this rig, making sure every robot's programmed route runs smoothly.
I'm still a nervous wreck when I come out and watch these things going down the road.
And I would guess by next year, if they improve by the amount they did from last year to this year, and then to next year, I'm guessing they'll be doing a very good job.
Yeah, wow, I know. Greenfield Robotics says the robots are handling thousands of acres this year. They can travel to other states for work. Students and community gathered today at the Oval on the Pitt State campus so students could connect with local businesses and vice versa. A local bookstore owner says last year she connected with a student at her booth and they're still working together. The student became her house artist and has been selling his art in the bookstore. She says the art pieces match what she has in the store.
Pieces that really were representative of what we had going on at the store at the time. And so it's really kind of almost like a little bit of a collaborative relationship too.
You can find a link to the bookstore and art at KOAMnewsnow.com. Arvest Bank in Joplin today announced a new credit card designed for blind and low vision customers. The cards will have features written in Braille, such as the card holder's name, also number, expiration date, security code. Arvest also offers Braille account statements and ATMs.
For the younger ones in the organization, I would kind of see that as something that would probably we could pick up on and would be very instrumental to them, when they're shopping and that kind of thing.
Arvis says customers can receive a new Braille card at any branch location or just by giving them a call. Coming up, Springfield, Missouri travelers might have something new to look forward to. We'll explain. Plus, the latest on the investigation of documents former President Trump kept after he left the White House. Construction's underway in Springfield now on a popular road trip refuge. Business and government leaders from all across the area broke ground this afternoon on what will be Missouri's first Buc-ee's. The site off I-44 will feature a 53,000 square foot convenience store and 120 gas pumps. Springfield's Director of Economic Vitality says Buc-ee's is expected to generate more than $30 million a year in taxable revenue and bring in 200 full-time jobs. Buc-ee's president says he has high hopes for the store.
We think we'll do great in Missouri and in Springfield. The proximity, it has the population base for the hiring, and then the interstate is just, as you know, highly trafficked. We think it'll be a wonderful location.
Buc-ee's is expected to officially open in Springfield in December of 2023. New details have emerged about the kind of classified documents that were being stored at former President Trump's Florida estate. The documents are said to include some of the U.S. government's most highly guarded secrets. Natalie Brand reports from Washington.
The National Archives says scores of classified documents were recovered from Mar-a-Lago in January, 7 months before the FBI's search of the property. The acting head of the archives has released a letter sent to former President Trump's legal team in May. It details the agency's concerns about sensitive records in Trump's possession that were turned over earlier this year, specifically over 100 documents with classification markings comprising more than 700 pages, including some up to top secret.
It's based on a judgment that if our adversaries got their hands on that information, there would be exceptionally grave damage to the United States of America.
The New York Times reports that since federal agents re-engaged with Trump's legal team this summer and then searched his home, the number of documents retrieved has climbed to more than 300, containing documents from the CIA, the National Security Agency, and the FBI.
A presidential election is more than 2 years away. This doesn't immunize him from a criminal investigation into this mishandling and unauthorized retention of properly marked classified documents.
Trump, in a court filing Monday, argued he's being targeted by a politically motivated witch hunt because he's considering another White House run in 2024. His lawyers asked a court to appoint a special master to review the documents seized from Mar-a-Lago. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Washington.
A judge today gave the former president's legal team until the end of this week to submit a more precise explanation of just what they're seeking from that lawsuit. A little bit later, burger lovers might love to hear about the next fast food chain that could be making its way to Joplin.
Plus, rain lovers might like to hear more rain chances in the forecast. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be another nice one for us today. A couple days stretch that we've had pretty good weather conditions across the region. High temps today, right around 90. We had partly to mostly sunny skies. We had those afternoon little cumulus clouds that pop up, but besides that, it turned out to be a pretty good day and a much better stretch than what this entire summer has been. We haven't hit 100 in 8 days, but we've done it 22 times, which is the 6th most on record. If you want to know the most, 1954, 39 times, but we've only had about 5.5 inches of rain since June 1st, and half of that has occurred over the past 2 weeks. The changes here are good because we are starting to see the new pattern take shape, and it's going to be fully set here in about 1 month, and that's why we've cooled down a bit over the past couple weeks. So we had several days last week below average, a couple days already this week that temperatures have been pretty good. Outside right now it's 74 in Carthage, Anderson 75, Grand Lake 72, 76 in Pitt, 73 in Fredonia. Let's go to the airport. 7th and Range Line temperatures at the airport, 75. Our relative humidity is at 66%. There's nothing going on here. You have to travel south. Had some showers down through Oklahoma and also Arkansas. A little upper level wave is spinning to our south. So this is going to keep some clouds and showers just to our south. They just are not going to make it into the region over the next few days. And there's really nothing going on. Lower 48, we have no big storm systems out there. So it's pretty quiet as we get through the rest of the week. By morning, 65, 86 by noon, 90 by 5, high temp right around 91. We're going to have partly to mostly sunny skies once again. Let's go through time. Hour by hour, we'll stop at about 6 o'clock in the morning, sitting into the mid-60s. Quick warm-up, 60s, 70s, mid-80s by noon, and then we'll top out about 91 degrees. A little bit hotter in our western counties, but very similar to what we saw today. The humidity is going to be pretty good, so we're not going to have the muggy stickiness out there in the afternoon. Thursday, much of the same, degree or two warmer, about 93 for a high, and then we're going to go mid to upper 90s once you get into our far western counties. But again, the humidity is going to be pretty good. The humidity will start to creep back in by the time we head toward the weekend. So Friday, a little sticky, and then chances for at least a few scattered thunderstorms as we head into Saturday, and then again on Sunday. Very similar to what we had this past weekend with just a few pop-up storms, so don't cancel any outdoor activities. I actually think our better chance for rain is going to move in late Monday into Tuesday as we get a cold front that is going to try to work in, which is always good. All right, 91 tomorrow, 93 on Thursday, 94 on Friday. The rest of the work week, hot, dry. Not extremely hot, but hot. 93 threes, I guess, over the weekend, 92 Monday, 90 on Tuesday with those rain chances. The best chances being Sunday and Monday.
Have you had to mow your lawn in like the last month?
I did it 2 days ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Probably the first time in...
I mean, it was mowing dirt, but I had to get the high weeds.
Yeah, so. I guess so. Settle the dust a little bit. Thanks, Doc. Hey, burger lovers, listen up. You might love this. Joplin might be getting a new burger joint on these two adjacent lots. What burger, you ask? Well, what about a Whataburger? Yeah, you might know Whataburger is Patrick Mahomes' favorite burger chain. An agenda released today for Joplin's Planning and Zoning Commission hinted at a possible Whataburger location in the city's future. According to the agenda, a site plan review is being considered for the adjacent properties 2014 South Rangeline Road and 2019 South Highview Avenue. We'll keep you posted. Still ahead, we're going to hear from Patrick Mahomes' favorite team, Kansas City Chiefs, as they prepare for their final preseason game of the year. And a motivated Oswego team aims to bounce back from their first losing season in 5 years. Jacob Leonard has that and more up next.
The Oswego Indians are less than 2 weeks away from their first football game of the season. Oswego kicks off their schedule on September 2nd at home against Marmaton Valley. Now, the Indians looking to bounce back this fall after going 3-6 overall last season. It's their first sub-500 season since 2017. Now, there is some good news for Oswego. Got a lot of good players back from last year. That includes 6 starters on each side of the ball. Head coach Matt Fowler says his team is coming off its best summer in the 5 years he's been there, and it's easy to see they're motivated to get back to their winning ways this fall.
Great feeling knowing that they're motivated. You know, a lot of times in coaching, that's one of your biggest things that you're trying to dig for is, you know, how to motivate someone, what motivates them, and when they're self-starters, that's a lot of fun to watch, you know, because then you can just, instead of trying to build a fire, you just throw more fuel on it. We know it's going to be a battle every week. You know, we have some good teams on our schedule, and I think, you know, a lot of those games could go either way and should be a lot of fun.
The Kansas City Chiefs play their final preseason game of the year this week. They'll host the Packers on Thursday to wrap up their preseason schedule. And that game is a chance for a lot of players to show what they can do before the Chiefs trim the roster to 53 players just 1 week later.
There's competition all the way through, so that's they're for starting positions and depth positions. So, yeah. Oh yeah, we keep our eye on all that. I mean, we grade these guys every play, every day. So we're talking about it and going through it, and then Brett and I get together. You know, as of today, this is what we're looking at. We'll see, you know, where it goes from here.
The St. Louis Cardinals have won 8 games in a row. The Cards beat the rival Cubs 1-0 last night in Game 1 of their 5-game series. The St. Louis and Chicago play a doubleheader today for Games 2 and 3. Pick it up here in Game 1. Paul Goldschmidt, grounder to the right side. P.J. Higgins comes home with it. Gets Lars Newbar at the plate. The game is still scoreless. Second inning, Javier Assad strikes out Albert Pujols. Pujols 1 for 4 in this one, still sitting on 693 career homers. That's 2-0 Cubs in the 7th. 2 on for Nolan Arenado, but he pops out to end the inning. St. Louis 5 hits in this one, but they did not score. Cubs take Game 1 2-0. So in Game 2 of the doubleheader, Cards trying to get the bats going and split the day. And that's just what they did. Cardinals win it big, 13-3. Nolan Arenado, Tyler O'Neill, and Tommy Edman all hit home runs for the Cardinals. As for the Kansas City Royals tonight, they're at home, opening a 2-game set against the Arizona Diamondbacks. And the Royals are trying for back-to-back wins for the first time in nearly 2 weeks. They're down 5-3 right now in the top of the ninth. Bobby Witt Jr. is 2 for 4 in the game with a solo home run. So now Oswego less than 2 weeks away from their first game of the season, but Missouri, what is this, Tuesday? Just 3 days away from the start of regular season in Missouri. So we're almost there.
And you and the rest of the sports team have been warming up and you're ready to go.
We are.
As we all are. We'll be right back. Take a moment now to honor a local veteran. William Brand served in the U.S. Navy from 1964 to 1991. His hometown, Jasper, Missouri. And we are proud to salute William Brand, a four-state hero. Snoop Dogg is entering the world of children's programming with a new animated kids series. Doggyland Kids Songs and Nursery Rhymes. That's what it's called. It launched on YouTube and YouTube Kids. Features a colorful cast of dogs that use song, dance, and rap to teach social, emotional, and cognitive skills aimed at toddlers to 8 years old. The rapper voices the main character, Bow Whistle, I would guess. Anyway, he serves as the adult mentor to the rest of the cast. Perfect, don't you think?
Snoop Dogg can do anything. Didn't he do like a cooking show? Like,
oh, yeah.
That guy, yeah.
Yes, with Martha Stewart.
Versatile.
That he
He's
is.
all over the place. Yes, he is.
Yeah. The weather is not all over the place. It's pretty consistently hot.
It is. 91 tomorrow, 93 on Thursday, 94 on Friday. So just inching upward just a bit over the next few days, but dry until the weekend.
Chances of rain anyway. Final sports notes.
We got more softball coverage coming up tomorrow. We're going to hear from the Joplin Eagles as they approach their season opener right here tomorrow night.
Looking forward to that. Thanks for joining us. Morning show starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.